Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex, here to bring you another prediction video about what Nintendo might be doing at E3. So we've already done prediction videos on Mario, Donkey Kong and Zelda. They're available on the channel. And the rest of the franchises I don't have as much to say about as those other three franchises. And once again, I've got my friend Scott from 1UpLevelUp joining me for this discussion.
Hello everyone, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, good to have you back. So Scott's got his own channel, as I just mentioned. I will link it in the top pinned comments, so make sure you check him out and hit that subscribe if you like what you see. And it'll be very nice if you hit the subscribe button on this channel as well. That helps us out a lot, obviously. So we are gonna...
I hope they do, you know.
Well, obviously, yes. Subscribing helps us out. So yeah, so let's go through Nintendo's franchises and just say what we think they could bring. So remember, the big three that we had to talk about have already been done, so we won't be doing the big ones, just the others. So let's start with, actually, a pretty big one, Smash Brothers.
Yes.
So with the Fighters Pass, we've got 2 characters left to reveal, and it's been said to be by December this year as the last one. And they've been sticking to like 3 last year, and then looks like it could be 3 this year. So what are your thoughts there? Do you think they'll reveal both of them on day 3 or just one?
I think that they might just do the one for now, just because of the fact that maybe some things got delayed and they want to kind of hold it off for now, maybe until like later in the year, into maybe if they do like a September direct like they usually do in the past. That's a possibility, but they're definitely going to be showing one. I know that for sure, because it's too big of an event for them not to have Smash Bros. Show up in some form. And if anyone has ever seen my channel, I'm a huge Smash fan, and so yeah, I'm pumped for it. But I'm hoping they unveil both of them, because that would be awesome for me. Honestly, yeah. I'm just being selfish there, but
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Historically, they usually show more than one character at E3.
Right.
But because there's only 2 left, and I'm wondering if they would, because the Nintendo Directs seem to be back now, so September they usually do one, so maybe the last one will be revealed there. But there was a rumour quite a while ago about there being a bonus fighter.
Really?
You know,
I did not hear about that.
It was something to do with the codes of the characters. Like, I can't think. Basically, when they released the first Fighters Pass, the code for that Rex Mii fighter was like 5 numbers after Joker's code. So it sort of fit into sequence. That's how they'd be sequenced on the game. But yeah. the what was it? It was a Breath of the Wild costume you got with Fighters Pass 2, and that was 7 codes further along than Min Min, when it should have been 6. So people are thinking maybe there's an extra character to fit in there. It's all, you know, speculation, but I'm wondering if they do reveal 2 and then say, oh, hang on, there's going to be a bonus fighter. We'll reveal that later in the year. That could be a bombshell announcement there. That
would make me so hyped, dude. Like, oh, Smash is one of my favorite franchises. It's the only fighting game that I can actually get into. And I'm a little greedy. Like, I want them to do a Fighter Pass 3, but I also want to give Sakurai a rest, because that poor guy has been doing Smash for 20 years straight. So if they end it at this Fighters Pass, I'm okay with that, because my God, we have almost 80 characters in this game. So, but if we do get that bonus character, that would be awesome. Like, and I really hope, if it is, well, we'll get into predictions, I guess, in just a second here, but I'll probably... I mean, do you have any thoughts on who you would want as those final fighters?
Yeah, my sort of... I've had my predictions out from the get-go, and none of them have come true. But so I've sort of had to eliminate my least favourite of my picks each time. And nice. I'm left with Shantae and Crash as my 2 preferred.
Oh, Shantae and Crash. Those are 2 good choices, honestly. Yeah. I'm not a big Crash fan, but Shantae, I'm really getting into that series. As you know, I recently am trying to get all the games physically, and oh, that's a nightmare. But that character, like, we need an indie rep in as a fighter. I think it's about time that we have an indie fighter. A lot of people are thinking about Shovel Knight, but he's an assist trophy, so I don't think that's going to be a possibility. I would say for indie rep, Shantae or Hollow Knight would be my picks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I always sort of saw Hollow Knight as a Mii costume.
Yeah,
Sort of an ideal candidate there.
Yeah, he definitely would fit as a Mii costume, but I think what I think would be really cool and would make him unique is that, you know, kind of a black and white kind of character.
That's true, yeah.
And he's kind of already equipped for fighting. So, I mean, really, those movesets wouldn't be that hard to figure out. And Sakurai works magic on these characters anyway. So, but yeah, no one kind of mentioned Hollow Knight, but yeah, that's something I've been really thinking about lately. And as popular as that game is, and then there's a sequel coming out pretty soon, hopefully, that would be a huge get for Smash Brothers.
Definitely, yes. So who are your two picks? I'm assuming Hollow Knight's one of your picks.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with like the fact that if we just have two, Hollow Knight would be the one. And I'm thinking, I'll give you two because there's one that I want and one that I think is more realistic. The one that I want, I think that's not going to happen, is Paper Mario. I've always wanted him as a character. We have 3 Links, so I think we should have 3 Marios, and he would be the most unique of all of the Marios. You know, we have Mario and Dr. Mario, which are very similar to one another, but he could pull moves from Origami King, from Color Splash, moves from Thousand Year Door. He has he would have so many different possibilities on moves that this character would be actually a lot of fun to play as, I think.
Yeah, I fully agree. Paper Mario would be awesome.
Yeah. I did a couple of predictions video. I have those 2 videos on my channel, and Paper Mario both came up both times on those, so you could tell how much I want that character in this game. I don't think it's going to happen, honestly, though, because I think if he would have been a fighter, it would have been last year when the new game came out during the summertime. So I think his time is unfortunately past. But
yeah, that's how I also felt about Rayman as well.
Oh yeah,
I think he would have been in the first one if he was going to be in it, but
Rayman was a weird character though, because like they added him as a spirit, didn't he? And,
yeah, he is
and
a
he was
spirit, yeah.
And then he was a trophy in the last game, so that was really odd that they decided to add him as those things, but nothing else. So
yeah, who's your realistic pick then?
Realistically, I think it's probably going to be. I don't want to say this. This will be kind of controversial, but I have a weird feeling that we might.
Is it a blue-haired Fire Emblem?
It's kind of similar, but there's a game that's popular right now that I think that would really hit with a lot of kids, and that would be a Fortnite character, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah. I can totally see it, even though I would not want it. I can totally see that happening. Ugh.
It's definitely possible, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as, you know, I've sort of the way I sort of see it with Smash characters, I always say whenever I think about characters I want, I sort of think about not who would be a good fighter, but who would be an exciting fighter. Because really, the majority of the Fighters Past characters I've not been excited for, but I have enjoyed the characters. Like, I personally think, because Banjo's the only one I've been excited for, but he's not my favourite of the Fighters Past characters. Like, Sephiroth's my favourite, I think, is the best fighter out there to play as, but I was not excited for him at all. So it's kind of like, it's who would be a good character to play as, but which character do you like?
Yeah, I actually, it's funny that you brought that up, because I felt the exact same way. Like, I was super hyped. I've always wanted Banjo from the very beginning in the game, and we finally got him. But I don't play as him as often as I would like to. Like, I actually think my favorite character to fight as is Byleth, believe it or not.
Yeah, honestly,
I was not hyped for him at all.
That was a bit of a disastrous announcement. That I laughed. I was laughing in disbelief. Like when he appeared, I was like, I didn't know who he was because I hadn't played Three Houses. But when I saw him, I was like, he looks just like Marth and Crom.
Yeah, and that's
plays
the kind
very
of
differently.
Yeah, and that's the kind of running joke with Firemoon. I'm a huge fan of Firemoon as well, and I played Three Houses, and I love that game. So I was aware of his character, but like he's kind of a silent character in that game. He doesn't talk at all. He doesn't really have a personality. So it was really odd that they chose him as that fighter. But like now that I played as him, though, his set is so unique from the other Fire Emblem characters that he's a lot of fun to play as. And I also agree with you as well with Sephiroth. He's a very, very fun character to play as. But like I find myself drawn more to the second Fires Pass fighters than the first pair or the first set. You know.
Yeah.
But,
So anyway,
that's interesting.
Anyway, Smash could be its own discussion video here, couldn't it? Really.
Oh, absolutely. I could talk about Smash for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, over the past few years, me and Sophie have done so many Smash prediction videos. It's insane. But I'm sure there'll be, if there's only one character revealed, then I'm sure there'll be opportunities to talk about it again after E3.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
and if you ever want an opportunity to bring me back for that, I would definitely do it again, man.
Definitely. Then we got to do our whole characters that should have been in Smash, and I'll just talk about Waluigi for 20 minutes then.
Yes, that would be fun.
Right, so now we're basically going to rattle through Nintendo's other franchises that we didn't mention in the previous videos this week.
Okay.
And just give our quick thoughts on what they could bring to the Switch with them. So we talked about Mario and his side, but we didn't mention Dr. Mario. So do you think we could see a new Dr. Mario game? 'Cause I think Dr. Luigi was the last one, although there was that phone one as well.
Yeah, I honestly don't think so. I think that franchise is strictly going to stay on mobile for right now. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a Switch type of game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we've got the NES one on the Nintendo Switch Online. That'll do.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we do have that one. It's just not. I don't know. It's just not exciting for me.
Okay, so let's move on to Metroid. This is an interesting one.
Yes, it is.
Well, we know for sure that there's one game in the works, which was revealed 4 years ago, but then restarted like 2.5 years ago, nearly.
Yes.
So surely it's time to get a trailer at least.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this year the anniversary of Metroid, like the 35th anniversary as well?
Yeah, but Nintendo don't care.
Yeah, I know. But as gamers, we always kind of put those things together.
We care, definitely.
We're overdue for a trailer at this point. Like, 2.5 years is a long enough time that I think that you could probably get a trailer out of it at this point. I don't know game development, but I feel like that's sufficient enough.
Yeah.
And if not, then maybe a trailer for Metroid Prime Trilogy? I
think that coming to Switch, I think that is a shoo-in at some point, but maybe it could be paired with the trailer, because I think they've probably been holding off on the trilogy on purpose until Metroid Prime 4's ready.
Oh, absolutely.
So they don't want to they want to have it to help with the hype cycle, but they want to give enough time for people to play through the trilogy before the fourth one comes out.
Yeah, and I fall in one of those categories where I've never played the original trilogy at all. I wasn't a fan of Metroid until just recently, honestly. So I would be one of those people that would jump right into the series, play the first three. If I like them, I'll jump into 4 and be a huge fan from this point on. But I mostly stick with the 2D games. So Metroid Prime is a whole new thing that I'd love to try out the series, see if I liked it, So hopefully they do release it before the fourth one, but who knows.
Yeah, I've played all 3 of them. I haven't completed the third one though, but the first one I think is the best. The first one's really good. The second one I wasn't that keen on, but and then the third one was good as well. But
nice.
Yeah, so I can see that, and also people were saying about Metroid Samus Returns port onto the Switch, the 3DS one they did.
That'd be cool.
And again, I always thought I can't see them doing that, but then Miitopia's just come out, so they totally can do that.
And at this point, they ran out of Wii U games to port over, so now we have to bring the 3DS games over.
Yeah, so that's basically for Metroid. I mean, I did a predictions video for Metroid's 35th anniversary last year as well, sort of similar to what I did with Zelda, but there wasn't as much to talk about with Metroid, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's all speculation at this point.
But yeah, I can't see Metroid Prime 4 coming out this year.
No. It's definitely going to be
the trilogy. I can see the trilogy coming out this year, but Metroid Prime 4 next year, if it's
absolutely
ready to be shown.
Yep, I completely agree with that.
Okay, so next series to talk about is Yoshi.
All right.
So we've already got a 2D Yoshi on the Switch, Yoshi's Crafted World. Did you play that one?
I did not. I played the demo. I don't know. I've never really been into the Yoshi games. I think they're a little bit too slow for me.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. Like that and Kirby, like both of those franchises kind of cater to younger audiences, and I think I'm just not their target audience for those franchises.
Yeah, I played. I got Yoshi's Crafted World. I played it over the weekend. I had an alright, enjoyable enough time with it, but I'll never play it again.
Right. And I tend to buy games that I know that I would want to play again in the future, and if it's one that I'm just gonna be like a one and done, I don't usually waste my time with it, especially if it's a $60 game, you know.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, so I mean, Yoshi's Woolly World though, I thought I did prefer that to Crafted World. It would be nice to see that one, especially because that got a 3DS port with some extra features. So
yeah, and that game is different enough for I could see them porting that over as well.
Yeah. So that's all I've got to say about Yoshi, really.
Me too.
Okay, so Kirby is next. Now, there are rumours about Kirby, about a 3D game, which, to be honest, like I say, I wasn't a big fan of Star Allies, but I have enjoyed Kirby games in the past. I liked the, I think over there where you are, it's called Kirby's Return to Dreamland, but over here it's called Kirby Adventure Wii.
Oh, really?
I did enjoy that one, and triple was it called, not Triple Trouble?
Triple Deluxe
Triple Deluxe. Sorry, Triple Trouble's a Sonic game. Yeah, I enjoyed that one as well. But yeah, a 3D one. If they had sort of like a collectathon, it could be very similar to Mario Odyssey, especially with the capture mechanic that Kirby has anyway. That
would actually get, like, I don't play Kirby games. I'm not, like, again, I think they're just a little bit too easy for me. But a 3D one, that would be a little more intriguing, and I would definitely I would pay a little more attention to that release if they went that route, because I think they've kind of exhausted the 2D side-scrolling game for Kirby. I think it's about time that he goes into the 3D world and see what they can do with him, you know?
Yeah, or even like a sequel to Kirby's Air Ride. It's a game I've never played, but people rave about it, so that would be because Kirby's always been an experimental series. You know, it's sort of like spin-off things they've done. So yeah, so they brought Pokemon Snap back, so you know, another beloved one-off game could get revived. Yeah,
they could do a remake of the first one and see how it sells, and if it's popular enough, then maybe they'll warrant a sequel. Who knows? Or even a full sequel at this point.
So you've just used the words remake of the first one. Now here's a game that's never had a remake of its first game, and that's Star Fox.
Good transition.
I'm joking, because they sort of retread that first story quite a bit, don't they?
Yeah. Star Fox is another franchise that Nintendo doesn't seem to be doing anything with at this point. I'm not sure what their plans are. Star Fox game I really played was Star Fox Zero on the Wii U and Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube, I believe it was. And I enjoyed those games for what they were, but they're not my favorite, you know? So
yeah. I mean,
I think the game, I'm sorry, the one other game that I played that I really enjoyed that had nothing really, that wasn't a Star Fox game, but it was really fun, was oh my gosh, I want to say Starfield, but that's not what it is. I can't think of what it is, but that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, so yeah, with Star Fox Zero, I played it. I have have fun with it, yeah, for what it was, but it's not what people really wanted from Star Fox, because
No.
I mean, they said the story. I mean, the levels and game stuff was different enough, but it's telling the same story, and the controls are very divisive.
Oh.
I got on with them fine, but I would have preferred normal controls.
Yeah, they were a little bit of a mess.
Yeah.
And bringing it over to the Switch would be kind of a nightmare, probably.
Yeah, so I'd like to see a new Star Fox game, but I don't know if they would do that now.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I probably not. We probably won't see anything Star Fox related here.
All right, so then we got that. Oh, Starlink, was that what you were thinking of?
Yes, Starlink.
That had
Battle for
yeah, that's all the Star Fox you need.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that game.
I own it, but I've never played it.
Oh, you should definitely give it a shot. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's one of those. I'll play it one day. It's one of those.
Hey, make it part of your backlog series. There you go.
Yeah, have to, won't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next series to talk about is Pokemon. Now, we touched upon this before we started recording.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say right now, just to our audience, we're actually recording this discussion a week before we upload it. And I wasn't planning to say much about Pokemon anyway, but the only thing I was going to speculate got revealed today, and that was the release dates for Diamond and Pearl and Legend Arceus, being November 19th and 28th of January. And also, that goes on our Zelda prediction. You said like Breath of the Wild 2, possibly 20th of November, you said.
Yes.
Well, I don't think we're going to get it around then if we've got these Pokemon games coming out.
No, because like you said, the 19th. That's cutting it pretty close. I don't think they'll drop two major franchises on around the same time like that.
So it's kind of. I was expecting November for those games anyway, but the fact that we know for sure sort of, for me, deconfirms Breath of the Wild 2 for this year.
Well, I mean,
does it though? Release it in December.
Yeah, I mean, they could release in December, and they also could release it earlier in the month too, in November, because I mean, technically those Pokemon games are remakes of older games, so right. I'm not sure if there's as much hype around those as like a new game would be. So it's a good possibility that Breath of the Wild still could be released in the same month. It's just not like this, not just the next day like I thought.
Yeah, I hope so anyway.
Yeah.
So that's really all I've got to say about Pokemon, but they usually get their Pokemon Presents a week before, don't they?
Yeah, and we're both not really big into Pokemon, and Arceus looks interesting, kind of like a Breath of the Wild type feel to that game, and if they have it more open world, I will definitely get into that game. Yeah, so definitely. Hopefully they don't screw it up.
I do like that Cyndaquil's one of the starters in that.
Nice. I have no idea who that is, but
you don't know who Cyndaquil is. Okay. But yeah, I'm very much at Gen 1 with Pokemon, and I have knowledge of Gen 2. But yeah. Anyway, so next franchise is something that I've got a strong thing I'd like to say on it is FZero.
Yes.
How well informed of FZero are you?
I played the games back in the day, so, and I do like Captain Falcon. I'm aware of him from Smash Bros, obviously, but
he's been in more Smash games than FZero games.
I know. I feel like he's the mascot of Smash at this point. You know, like, I really hope that after people see how much, like, there was a lot of hype between the F-Zero tracks and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And because of that, I hope they see that there's still a want and need for this franchise. So I'm wishing and hoping that they will, but I don't think so. I don't think it'll be here this year either.
Yeah, well, the thing is, F-Zero GX was the first F-Zero game I played, but I have played the others since then. And I loved F-Zero GX, and I lent it to a friend and never got it back, and I can't remember which friend has it, and now it's really expensive to buy it second hand, so I'm annoyed about that. So I would love F-Zero to come back, but back in 2012, I remember it was not long before the Wii U came out, Shigeru Miyamoto said that they're not making a new F-Zero because they can't think of a way to innovate it.
You know, and I heard that too, and that's very frustrating because, like, they don't really need to come up with a new, fresh idea for every game. Like, I'm happy if they just make the same old kind of racing, just make a new game. Like, I just want to see a new game at this point, you know?
Yeah. And also, it got reiterated by someone recently who said the franchise is just sleeping until they can cut a new idea. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, F-Zero's never had online. There's a new idea for it.
There we go.
Second of all, it's been like nearly 20 years since F-Zero GX. I think people would be okay if it didn't have any new innovations. And it is this whole innovate for the sake of innovating. Look at Star Fox Zero,
right?
You know, like that didn't work in its favor. And
there's one thing that they don't really have in racing games anymore that I would love for them to bring back, and this could be, you know, added to your point. You know, add online multiplayer, but also add a story mode. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Almost like back in like how Diddy Kong Racing was back in the day, where you race on the tracks and race against certain characters and stuff.
Yeah, because F-Zero GX had a sort of story mode that was like 10 missions sort of thing. But if you had a proper one where you could level up and stuff.
Yeah. Almost make it like an RPG elements to it. Like that seems to be popular these days. And another thing is kind of lower the difficulty, because I know those games can be very, very difficult as well. So kind of make it a little more approachable for all people. That'd be awesome as well.
Give the option.
Yeah.
But also,
options.
You know, we're getting all these ports of Wii U games to Switch as well. Where's the innovation in them? You're just selling the same game again full price.
Right.
So I think F-Zero GX HD, just port F-Zero GX as it is, you know, but HD on the Switch and add online. That's all we want.
Yeah, and you trust me, people will be hype about that. I would be hype about that. So
me too. Yeah.
You know, they need to do it. Just do it. See how it sells.
I mean, you want to give the option for your sort of gyro steering as well. That's an innovation for it as well. As long as it's an option. As long as it's an option.
Right. Yeah, I don't want them to make the game around that. I want stick controls too. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep, good idea.
Yeah. And also, F-Zero X had this death battle mode or whatever, death race, where you sort of raced along the track infinite loops, and you took each other out, and it was last one standing. At 30, I'm thinking, battle royales are the rage at the minute still, aren't they?
Yeah.
So there you go. F-Zero X was doing it back in the 90s. Put that online. There we go.
See, they invented the battle royale back in the day. Who knew? Yeah. You know. That'd be awesome.
So the next series, and this might be a sore point for some people, is Earthbound/Mother.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Is the Mother 3 port coming?
No, not at all, ever.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, guys.
maybe the Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, whatever it's called, on the NSO, maybe that, but that's all I can see happening. But if they did, we'll get into sort of the Switch features a bit later, but if they did do GBA titles, I think we mentioned in another discussion, and had Mother 3 as like the headline game on it, I don't think Nintendo would be that generous, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost curious as if they don't even, if like they somehow lost the game and they just don't even have access to it anymore or something. You know, it's just kind of weird. Like everyone wants it, but they're just never coming out with it.
I think it's because there's some things in it that's offensive.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, like there's some stereotypes or something in it.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've heard that's the reason, but I'm sure they could remove that or alter it.
Yeah.
The same way they did with Jinx in Pokemon, but
I don't know at this point.
I'd say I'm not a Fire Emblem fan, so I can't really talk much anyway.
Well, I'll just touch on it real quick. It's been a couple years since the last Firemoon game, and there's a good possibility. There was a couple of rumors that some of the older games could come back as a remake, like Ike's games from the Wii U and GameCube. So, I mean, that could be a possibility as well. Like I said, it's a hit or miss at this point. I don't think of a brand new 3D one. I think, like I said, if they do bring one over, it's going to be a remake or a port of an older game. Like a double pack of Ike's games would be awesome. Path of Radiance, Radiance Dawn. Those are by far my two favorite games in the franchise. I would very much love to see those ported. I still have them, but like you can't find them anymore. And if you try to, they're like hundreds of dollars. I think that's the only way we'll see Firemoon.
All right,
I'll be really shocked.
I agree with you there. Okay, next one, Kid Icarus.
Unless they port the 3DS game over to the Switch, I don't see that coming as well, because that's Sakurai's franchise, and right now he's kind of busy with Smash Brothers.
Sakurai did say that importing Kid Icarus Uprising over would be a really difficult task. Not an exact quote, but something like that. But the thing is, I love Kid Icarus Uprising, but I played for it, and it's just the controls are awkward.
They are very difficult.
When I played it originally on my 3DS, I was alright with it. Like, my hand went numb a few times, but I got through it. But now, when I played through it again, I was on the 3DS XL, which is a bit bigger, and my left hand was actually in agony after playing it, so I can't actually play it anymore. So I'd love to see a twin stick control for it.
Yeah, and that's a shame too, because that is a great game. It's just the controls kind of hold it back, just much like Star Fox Zero. Yeah, so that I'd love to see it, but I'm not sure if they will.
I really want that. I really want that back.
Me too, man.
Okay, so the next franchise we've got has actually 2 series within it, and that is Wario. So we've got the Wario Land and WarioWare.
Yes. Yeah, so those games are long overdue as well. I would love to see a new WarioWare game, because those are good, fun party games, and that's what the Switch is built around, you know?
Yeah, so, and like the Joy-Con is perfect for WarioWare, really.
Absolutely, it is.
And the last WarioWare we got was WarioWare Gold on the 3DS a few years ago, but that was like a compilation game.
Yes. Yep.
And there's also been rumours of Wario Land Shake It on the Wii getting an HD port onto Switch.
Oh yeah, that would be another good choice too. I think
that's a great game.
Yeah, and I think if either one people would be satisfied with that, because I don't know if they would make a brand new game, but yeah, I would love to see those games return for the Switch. That'd be a lot of fun.
I think I can see Wario Land sort of again with a port rather than a new game, sort of being a test the waters sort of release.
Yeah, and we're finding that Nintendo's kind of doing that a little more with their franchises. They're kind of testing like some of these older games to see how they sell and if people like them, and before they go on with like a brand new game.
And yeah, and just perfect to mention that, because the next one we're talking about is Pikmin.
Ah, nice. So Pikmin. I'm really glad that they brought Pikmin 3 over to the Switch. That game is awesome, and not a lot of people experienced it because of the Wii U. And I haven't picked up for the Switch because I do have it on the Wii U, unfortunately. But there was word talks, I think it was like 4 years or 5 years ago now, that the 4th game was pretty much almost done. You know, they were working on it, and it is a thing. But I don't know what happened to that game. I don't know if they came up with a new idea or if they decided just to bring it to the Switch and change it up somehow. I have no idea what's going on with the game, but we need Pikmin 4 and we need it now.
I think Pikmin 4 must have had like a 50-year development cycle. So 5 years ago was almost done.
Yes. It's such a good franchise. It's more of a niche franchise, so I understand why they're kind of hesitant to bring it over. It's not, they're one of their best-selling franchises, but I'm pretty sure that Pikmin 3 did pretty well for the Switch. So
it did, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that was a test as well, and because it did well, I'm hoping Pikmin 4 is on its way. Will it show up this year? I hope so. That one's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, I do love how you said Pikmin 3, not a lot of people played it, and you went because of the Wii U. Yeah, fortunately, it was one of the worst selling consoles for Nintendo, and I loved it, and they just did the wrong things with it, and it had a lot of great games, which is why we see a lot of those games ported over to the Switch, and they are successful now. So yeah, so I didn't own it on the Wii U. I'd played it as someone else's, but I did buy it on the Switch. It's one of the few Wii U ports that I didn't double dip on because I didn't own it before.
Nice.
So it was one of those where I was glad it came to Switch. So
absolutely.
So next one on the list, I don't think we really need to say much about it, is Animal Crossing. I think they're already going strong with their last year's release there.
Yeah, the only thing I could see them doing is maybe showing off like DLC for the future or any future updates that they're going to do for the game later in the year, or even something for the summer. That's about the only thing I could probably see that they would do. Just
more of the same there.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, next one is on the list is Wii Fit, but we could also say Ring Fit, or also about like the Wii sort of aesthetic in general. And I don't think they'd bring the Wii back, but when you had like Wii Sports, Wii Fit, Wii Party and all that, I'd like them to do something like that again, but with the Switch.
That would be awesome if they brought Wii Sports back, because that was a really fun title. I know it was a packing title for the Wii, but man, I really enjoyed for what it was. I played more of that than I did some of the other main franchises that came out for that console. I
think Wii Sports might be my most played Wii game.
Yeah, mine too. The resort game I didn't like nearly as much, but I like that they went with an island aesthetic for that one. So it was a little more of an adventure game rather than just like mini games. But if they could even bring both those back as a double pack, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and Wii Party U on the Wii U, I really liked that one. I play that with a friend quite often still. I mean, I played it last week with my brother, actually.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's one thing that's been missing for the Switch, honestly. Like some of these obscure party games that Nintendo kind of experimented with back in the day. I'd like to see those make a comeback.
And I know a lot of people say, and obviously it's not going to be possible on the Switch to port Nintendo Land over, but just do a Nintendo Land 2 and just have different mini games. I really like Nintendo Land.
I did too, and I was going to mention that too because that was another game that everyone keeps talking about to bring over from the Wii U. But yeah, I think of this. They could easily just bring everything from that game and then just add more stuff to it, realistically.
Okay, next is Punch-Out.
No, I don't think we're going to see it at all.
No, fair enough. Okay, moving on.
All right.
Xenoblade Chronicles. Do you think Xenoblade Chronicles X could get ported over? That's one of the few Wii U games left.
Yeah. I think that one's a good possibility. We've seen a resurgence of this franchise. It's gaining popularity with the Switch, so that is definitely one that I would love to see them port over.
Yeah, I can see it happening, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think there's been enough time passed for us to see a third game or a sequel of any kind, but yeah, bringing over X with HD visuals would be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Splatoon.
They mentioned Splatoon 3 in the last Direct, and I'm super hyped. That is my favorite franchise of all time, next to Zelda. Like, those are my top two. And I play right now. I have around 600 hours of Splatoon 2, so I'm going to play. Yeah, and I played over 1,000 of Splatoon 1. That's just how much I love this franchise.
I've put about 20 hours into Splatoon.
Hey, that's okay. It's such a unique game. It's something that we've never seen before. It's their version of a third person shooter, and I love it. And the fact that the Switch in the game, I almost said GameCube, the Wii U handled, the ink physics was mind-blowing to me. And so I was super excited when they announced Splatoon 3 would come out, and it seems like they're going to be a little more ambitious with it, because Splatoon 2, they were kind of safe. It was more Splatoon 1 with the different levels and stuff.
1.5.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they go all out with this one, balls to the walls, and just go crazy with this one and see what they come up with. Maybe even add a Battle Royale mode. But yeah, I'm super pumped. I think we could see a trailer or more information at E3 for this game for sure.
Yeah, it's possible, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't mention it, though.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's next year that it's coming out, we know that, but...
Yeah, they just said 2022. We don't know how late. Typically, they fall in the summertime, so I'm thinking that's where we're going to see it.
Because like Splatoon 2 came out in July, and then its DLC came out June or July the next year. So
right,
obviously it's as we said before, there's no point trying to find patterns with Nintendo, is there?
Right. We don't know what they're going to do, but if a safe bet would say that we probably won't see it at E3.
Yeah, true. But speaking of a 3 game that we know about, that we could possibly see, what about Bayonetta 3? I know it's not a Nintendo franchise, but they are publishing it, so...
Yes. I bought Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Switch when it first released, but I have yet to play them because I'm trying to wait. I'm trying to wait until it gets closer to the third one for I can just play all three of them in a row. And kind of like Metroid. And I don't know what's happening with this. Along with Metroid, like, wasn't this unveiled the first year of the Switch, like 2017?
It was at the Game Awards that year.
Oh,
so it's been
yeah,
like
the Game Awards.
3.5 years ago. But
so I don't know what's going on with that game, honestly. Like, we haven't heard a single peep on it. I believe the developer says it's progressing, forward, but that's all we know so far.
And they also said, for us, pretty much told us to shut up about it as well. Not in those words, but they're saying it's progressing smoothly, just stop asking us.
Yeah, which makes me question, is it really progressing as smoothly as you're saying? Or did you have some kind of issue that it's been delayed and delayed and delayed, The
thing to sort of note about, on that 3.5 years ago reveal of it, all they showed was a logo, and it said now in development, which suggests it had only just started development at that time.
Yeah. That's what makes me a little bit nervous, because we haven't seen a trailer or nothing about this game yet, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm hoping I first played Bayonetta when it came out on the Xbox 360, and then I got the double pack of Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U, so I haven't bought it on Switch for that reason, but I do really enjoy them. I am actually someone who voted for Bayonetta in that Smash ballot. Oh, nice. Yeah, and you got her. yeah. So I remember I texted my friends just after reveal saying, "You're welcome." That's awesome. And she's fun, a lot of fun to play too. So that was a good choice. Okay, so the last big sort of Nintendo franchise we haven't talked about that I've got on my list here is ARMS. ARMS. I didn't think of that one, actually. Yeah, I think it's time. The ARMS 1 came out in 2017, and I think they're going to pull a 2017 this year. I really do. Or at least 2022. I think they're going to bring out a lot of heavy hitters because it's been 4 years, and that game didn't get us enough love. And I loved it for what it was, but even I don't find myself really playing it that much now these days. So I think they need to add a little more to it, like a story mode or something to flesh out the characters, because the characters are amazing. I would love to know more about those characters. And so, yeah, bring it on. I'd love to see ARMS 2. That'd be great. And because now Min-Min's in Smash, there's a little more awareness to the franchise as well. I think ARMS had a really resurgence in popularity, as you just mentioned, last year. Not just from Min-Min's reveal, but like a few months before when they said an ARMS character is coming to Smash. Then they did that free trial of it. I think that got people talking about it again. It got me to. I actually spurred me to play the game again, and I ended up doing a review of it. And I ended up doing a video where I predicted ARMS 2. I came up with 10 new characters and stages for them, and different kinds of arms. And also, one of the modes I came up with was kind of like a deathmatch mode, kind of like Time Splitters 2, where you're running around 3D environment, like big open thing, and you pick up arms like you would pick up guns in those games and use them to hit people from a distance. That was my idea anyway. But a battle royale arms. That would be amazing. Yeah, but I don't know. I love it. I don't know right this second now, but I remember it wasn't that long ago. I think Nintendo Life did a thing. Are these games still active online? And like it showed that ARMS. You go online on ARMS, you will find a match very quickly. Oh yes. Will you survive? Probably not. But you will find. People still playing. You will find. Yes, absolutely. It's still very much an active community, which is awesome. I'm so glad that game's still getting support. Yeah. So really, those are all the bigger franchises that we could say plenty about. But there's a couple more I want to mention that we could probably just be yes or no's where we see them. So one I'd like to mention is because it got mentioned recently, 1080 snowboarding. That'd be cool. The developers said they would be up for doing a new one, but it's up to Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to their court. It's the ball's in their court. I don't know. I don't know if they'll bring that franchise back, but I would love to see it.
Yeah, and also a wave race.
Oh, yep. I love that too.
I played it again last year, the N64 one, and my goodness, it's amazing.
It actually holds well to this day. I love that game.
Yeah, me too. So then there's Pilot Wings as well.
Okay.
Do you think we'll see that?
That's probably not.
Okay, Ice Climber. I think you'd just be competing with Celeste, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I would think it would be a little more 3D, or it would have more 3D sprites in a 2D plane. I wouldn't be pixelated like Celeste is. But yeah, I mean, with the popularity of Celeste, I could definitely see that a possibility.
Yeah. Although a lot of the popularity of Celeste, obviously the gameplay's amazing, but it's also the character and the story,
right? And
like the way it tackles mental health as well. But I can't see Ice Climbers doing that.
No, not at all.
I could see some co-op, like Unravel 2 style co-op, where you're like connected with the cord and all that. That could work quite well, but
it definitely could be a good party game, honestly.
And then the last one I want to talk about is the Excite series.
Oh yeah,
because we had a Excite bike in Mario Kart 8, and we also had Excite Truck and Excite Bots, which never came to the UK, that one, but I always wanted to play it. Excite Truck I really enjoyed. So
the second one wasn't as good as Excite Trucks, but it was still a fun game.
Yeah, so I wonder if they could bring that as a double pack or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I like the Excite Bike character used to be an assist trophy in Smash, but I don't think he is anymore, so maybe Excite Bike for Smash. There we go.
I think he's still assist trophy. I'm not too sure though. I'll have to look into that.
It's hard to keep track of who's still there. And
yeah, then, it really is.
Then there's also, I said that was the last one, but there's also the over in your neck of the woods. It's called Rhythm Heaven, I think.
Yes.
It's called. Don't even know what it's called over here. Like the Wii one's called Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise.
Okay.
But I don't know what the franchise as a whole is called over here, but the Wii one I have, and that was really fun. But it got like a compilation one on the 3DS, so yeah, that's one that could come to Switch.
Yeah, absolutely. And as popular as Switch is, like I could see them bringing a lot of different franchises over just to try them out. That's what they did with the Wii, so I could see that happening again with the Switch.
Yeah, so that's basically all of the Nintendo, but we have that's the franchises, but there's also, I want to quickly address the Switch Pro. Do you think we will see that at E3?
If they plan on releasing it at the end of the year, they would definitely have to show it off at E3 in some form, or at least acknowledgement that it exists. If they have no plans, because with supplies and everything else, if they don't plan on releasing it this year, then I could see them holding it off until maybe a direct either next year or at the end of this year.
Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking is the Switch Lite wasn't shown at E3 or a direct. That was just revealed one day.
Yeah, so, and they've been dropping a lot of things on Twitter randomly lately, so that could also be a possibility.
Also remember the 3DS XL was revealed not at E3, but it was like a week after E3 or something like that year.
And then they someone legit asked them hey, you guys doing a revision? And they said no, and literally the next couple of days they unveiled it. So
it was at that point where you thought why didn't they just show it at E3 when there was a lot of eyes on them? I don't know. So
it's weird. It's weird what they do sometimes.
Yeah. So anyway, those are our predictions of what Nintendo's E3. That was quite a long video.
Yes,
it's been a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it really
we
was.
had a lot to say, and I was actually holding some things back to stop it going too long, so I could have gone on for a couple of hours here. But but I'd love to do something like this with you again, mate. Just that was really fun. So just if you want to quickly let people know again how they can find you and what to expect from your channel.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on to do these. These are a lot of fun. I could definitely, anytime you want to do anything like this, just let me know. My channel is 1UpLevelUp on YouTube, and I'm also on Twitch. Or, well, I'm going to be on Twitch pretty soon, but I'm on Twitter at 1UpLevelUpGame. And I do Nintendo-related content. I'm doing some playthroughs here and there, and I'm also doing a backlog series that I just started. I'm really excited to start that off for you guys too, so have some exciting things in the future, so look forward to that if you guys decide to follow me.
Cool, brilliant. So yep, your channel is linked in the top pinned comments, so please go check him out, and also make sure you subscribe to us. I've mentioned it enough times at the beginning, didn't I? And yes, so also stay tuned. We'll both be bringing, I'm sure you will, at E3, like bringing your thoughts and reactions to things.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yep, and as will I. So obviously look forward to those as well. So have a nice E3, everyone. And thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.